What is going on, YouTube? It is me, your boy Flash Jones, back again with another video. And as you guys can see here in the opening shot, I got two more real special goodies for y'all today. All right. With that being said, let's jump right on into it. All right. So since I've already done an unboxing and a review on the Walthers MainLine SD70ACe in the BNSF scheme, this is just going to be an overview. And you can kind of say a demo, but really just an overview of these two locomotives and just different paint schemes, just so we can see them and see how they run. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox them and put them on the track, and then we'll run them around a little bit and listen to the sounds. All right, hold on. All right, so I already unboxed the UP scheme locomotive. I just want to give you guys just a quick shot of the locomotive in the box. There's some soft plastic, or actually, there's a hard plastic on the top to keep the locomotive in the shell proper. I took a few L's already trying to get this tape off. Just so you guys know, there are 4 spots. There's one here at the top, one down here at the bottom, one here on the inside here, and one here on the inside here. All 4 of them have a piece of tape, and yeah, just so you know. So you got the hard plastic on the top, just to keep the locomotive in the shell and seat it properly. Then once you pull that off, you have the soft plastic protecting the locomotive and the paint, so nothing gets rubbed off or scratches up against it. And you just kind of get your fingers in here. Be mindful of the horn. And hopefully you can get her out. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I'll get these both set up, and then we'll continue with the video. Hold on. Alright, talk amongst yourself for me. Alright guys, so I got both these locomotives unboxed, and I took the foam off. They're sitting right here, right in front of them. And as I was getting ready to program them to their cab addresses, or the numbers that are on the cab, as I was admiring their sound, I decided to just test the bell, and both of these locomotives were assigned to a DCC address of locomotive number 3 from the shop. And like I was saying before, I decided to program them to their addresses that are on their cab. I just couldn't help but listen to the sound that they're both putting off right now, and I was like, I wonder what everything else would sound like. So I'll let you guys listen to the bell and the horn as they sound together, because they're both addressed locomotive number 3. I'm sorry, that was a short horn. Here's the bell. That's both of these locomotives together. Here's the horn together. Oh my God. Oh, they're going out of sync now. I'll get them back in sync. There's the horn. Here's the short horn. Long horn again. As you guys can hear, I'm going to turn the bell off just so you guys can kind of just hear this horn by itself. And the way it chimes, I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up. I don't know if you guys may have to use headphones to pick this up. I'll get a little bit closer. But just listen to the chime that the horn kind of sounds that the horn has on its own. Okay? Just listen to this. I'm going to hold the horn for a while. I'm kind of blown away by how they sound together. Yes, they are both addressed Locomotive number 3. So they're making these sounds together. And just to prove that to you, I'll move this locomotive up a little bit. Locomotive number 3. And I'll even increase at one speaks that they both move together. They're both designed or assigned the locomotive number 3. So that's together on the horn. Bell. And just like the BNSF locomotive, the responsiveness is okay. Who am I? The responsiveness is all right as far as the horn. Like I'll show you. I've showed you before, but I'll show you again. The short horn is pretty good. It's very responsive. But if you wanted to use the horn button as a short horn, I mean, you could. I know I will, but compared to the actual stock short horn, it's not that responsive. I'll show you again. I'll just press it one time. So, but that's that. I will go ahead and mute these locomotives. Short horn. All right. And then we'll just kind of go over a little bit of detail. Cut my little lights on. Have a little bit more light. And since this is the CSX paint scheme locomotive, it has a high headlight here. It has operating ditch lights. This is a value, so to say, locomotive. So in Walthers MainLine category, you don't get all the details, but one thing that Walthers does, and I think it's a good idea that they do it, is that they pre-drill these holes for you to add all of the details that you want to add later, and like the holes for the grab irons or the spots from. They got the sand furler hatch up here, but the grabs up on the nose and whatnot. Obviously the decals that are usually here on the side, they're obviously not here. I'll zoom in on the truck so you can kind of see those. All right, I'll zoom back out. Take a look up at the top of it and just admire how clean the locomotive is. And like I said, this is just an overview, so to say, kind of like a demo. So we're not going to do everything. There's no need for this video to be super long either. So I will move these locomotives ahead. We'll take a look at the UP scheme locomotive. And I don't know if you guys can kind of hear it, but motor sound is pretty low. But I think it's on this UP locomotive that the motor is making a little bit of noise. I'm not sure. I'll have to do a little bit more testing on that. But here she is. And this is the UP scheme. It has a low mounted headlight. So that's that. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention it, but these unique couplers, as some people like to, excuse me, as some people like to call them, they're not couplers. This is just what Walthers uses in their packaging to keep the locomotive seated properly in the box, along with the hard plastic on the front. But this keeps it from moving horizontally. So it keeps it very well seated and tight in the box. So that's the purpose of these couplers, if you will. They're not cow catchers. They're not, some sort of dummy coupler. They're just there for packaging and to ensure that you or I or whoever buys it gets a nice locomotive that was shipped properly in the package. So we'll take a closer look at the trucks on this locomotive. As you see, some of the detail in there. So that's actually pretty good too. They get the detail down in here. Some of the truck detail, some of the piping right in here. That's pretty good too. They didn't have to do that considering this is a value locomotive. I mean, they put the locomotives that you, I mean the locomotive, they put the details that you were gonna barely see instead of the details that you really want to see. But you know, that's not, it doesn't bother me. It's a value locomotive. You got the UP flag in here in the middle. I'm not big on UP. I'm not a UP fan of any way, but the flag looks a little bit odd. And I'll kind of get up on here and show you. Maybe it's just the way that it's painted. Maybe it's my eyes. But right here, they're trying to get the effect of a fold or a crease. That one was done okay. And you can kind of see right here where the flag is trying to wave, but going from here and following it down, it's like they kind of had a oops on their paint and they messed up somewhere in there. But I mean, for a $150 locomotive, you're not going to get everything 100% perfectly the way it is on the prototype. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me. If I was a diehard UP fanboy, I would probably be a little hurt, but I'm not. I think this locomotive still looks great. And a lot of people complain about locomotives not being the proper UP yellow. I don't exactly know what exactly color the UP yellow is. I know what it is based off my interpretation. And just looking at it, maybe it's just the fact that this locomotive is brand new, hasn't been weathered, hasn't, you know, had any service to it, but it's a nice, crisp yellow. A nice, crisp, like bumblebee yellow. That's kind of how I would describe it. Maybe a little bit darker than bumblebee. But like I said, I like it. It looks nice. You kind of, although this is molded as one piece of plastic, you kind of get the effect of there being compartmentalized doors here. You have the UP shield, Building America, and flared radiators, 2 fans on the top. And that's pretty much it. Brake cylinder here in the middle. Let's see if I can get my little pen here. Right there. Well, that's pretty bad focusing. But UP, the brake cylinder here, and brake cylinder here. And we'll go ahead and turn her around and take a look at the other side. As you guys can hear, these locomotives turn on as soon as they receive track power, or as soon as the layout's turned on. They will be picking up power. There we go. Oh, I'll try to edit that out. But take a look at the other side of it. So, I don't think I even mentioned it, but here's the CSX logo on the center of the locomotive, or the middle of it. And it's a nice, clean, crisp paint that they have on it. It's a nice dark blue. I think this is some people call it goes by the dark night color, or the YN3. I don't know the exact terms. If I find out what it is before this video is uploaded, I'll try to add a caption of some sort of what it is. Excuse me. But the reason why I got both these locomotives is I'm going to go ahead and mute them both. Thank you. The reason why I got both these locomotives is because I was in the middle of purchasing a few other things I needed for the layout, and I was looking at these locomotives and I just kept thinking these locomotives are pretty much sold out everywhere else. I called Walthers, they were sold out. They don't plan on getting any more until sometime this year. And Train Road is one of the last retailers that still has any of these in stock. And I just kept thinking, when they're done, obviously the next release might be a little bit better. I don't know what else really they can do better. Maybe add a few extra details to them. But I mean, what else can they really do for this line, for these locomotives in the value phase, or in the value category that they're in? And I don't know what the re-release will be like if they do one, which they probably should. But I just figured it would be good to get, you know, at least 1 or 2 more of these locomotives in the first release, considering they're 150. Because I mean, with the way that they run, the way that they sound, you never know, man. They might spike they might jump these prices up to around 170. The MSRP is 200. The MSRP might be 230, and the discount only might be like 170. So, obviously I got these from Train World. Like I said, they were the only retailers who had any of these in stock that I know of. But yeah, I figured I should get two more. The only reason I got CSX and UP is because I let her decide which ones that I would get. She said she liked this blue one because I don't have any blue locomotives. I have the BNSF, the Katy, a Norfolk Southern -9, which is black. That's at Athearn getting repairs. I have the other BNSF, SD70ACe from Walthers. And then these two. So she decided that she wanted a blue one for the layout, and she liked this yellow. It is UP, didn't bother me. I already have one UP locomotive on layout. I mean, by the time that I get everything to where I want it to be, I'll probably have 20 UP locomotives. I'll probably have 40 or 50 BNSF locomotives, and a good handful of CSX. And one locomotive that I really want is the Union Pacific, the ES44s. For some reason, I'm drawn to those locomotives. But that's another video for another day. I'm just going on talking. But these locomotives, they look really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just pretty much a quick view, unboxing, or not unboxing, but a quick view, a demo, and an overview of these two locomotives in the two different paint schemes. I would be showing you guys the BNSF locomotive that Walthers has that I purchased, but sadly and oddly enough, that locomotive, I had to send it back to Walthers. I was going to send it back to Train World and just get it replaced, but the fact that I've learned the hard way that no motor in any locomotive is the same, I've realized that I kind of want the same motor control that I had rather than a brand new locomotive. So I sent it back to Walthers because I don't know what happened with it. It was running slowly on a straight piece of track, and then it just stopped, and it started to heat up like it had some sort of electrical issue. I don't know exactly what it was. As soon as it stopped, I mean, obviously it took me a couple seconds to realize what was going on. I checked to make sure that my circuit breakers are working and that there were no shorts. There were no shorts because at the time, I'll even show you guys real quick. It was in a contest with the BNSF locomotive that's on the head end. And that locomotive was still running. It was running and it kept going, but the other BNSF, the Walthers locomotive, it just randomly stopped and I didn't know why. And then, like I said, I went to go grab it right in here. I'll do this one since I'm closer. I went to go pick it up and I felt it starting to get warm. And I kind of wafted the smell towards me. And I don't know how to explain what electrical wires burning smells like, but it kind of started to smell like it was some sort of short going on the inside of the locomotive. So I pulled it off the track immediately. And I even tried to disassemble the locomotive, tried to get the cab off, but I called Walthers. They say at first in their instructions that you have to remove the couplers here on the front and on the rear and just wiggle it like most locomotives and it pops off. That's actually not true. There are multiple screws. I think there's one right in here. There might be another one right in here and on the other side. So on the other side right in here and on the other side right in here that you have to unscrew as well to get the shell off. And I didn't know that, so I told them I'll just send it back to them. And they're going to do whatever they need to do in order to fix it. And they're going to send it back to me. Or else I would have all three of these locomotives sitting here in front of you just to show you all three of them. But I will do that whenever I get that locomotive back. When I first talked to them, they said it'd be about 6 to 8 weeks, which is ludicrous for a repair. But whenever I get it is when I get it. But sorry for the rant, and sorry for my complaints, but in the end I am happy with both of these locomotives. They are gorgeous locomotives. I am so happy that the wife gave me the okay to get it, and I'm also extremely happy that she chose two gorgeous locomotives. I cannot wait to get my track done so that I can actually run these locomotives in a loop. In my next video, I'm uploading a video right now, not this video but a video that I shot last night. I have this video that I'm shooting now, and I will probably have another video either tomorrow or next week when I get my signals in and when I get my hardware to run the signals, and I'll talk about what I'm using and all that when I get it all in, so I could just show you and not just talk about it. But we will go over that and everything else, because right now I can't run trains in the loop because of the I have to get everything set up for my block occupancy. So I decided not to crimp any wires in, just like how I have these quick splices. Decided not to crimp any extra wires. I decided to just wait. So that is the end of this video. And actually, one last thing I want to show you guys. In the boxes, you all obviously get your DCC Tsunami digital sound guide with the very limited functions that it provides. F8 is mute. F5 as the for ditch lights, and F3 is the short horn. F2 is the horn. F0 is the headlight. And a warranty card and an exploded parts diagram, the usual books and shit that you get when you get a locomotive from any retailer nowadays. So that now, I say this at least 10 times every video, but that is the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy the sounds of these two locomotives. I hope you guys enjoy the paint on these two locomotives. I hope you guys enjoy the very limited detail you get in these locomotives. And I hope that you guys purchase these locomotives and run them for yourselves. If you don't like them, you don't like them. If you like them, you like them. Along with the other BNSF locomotive, I will be doing the real review. We'll go into more details on what that is when I get it back and when I run these two locomotives and break them in, and we'll go from there. But I will be doing a real review on all three of them at the same time, and stay tuned for that. Until then, you know me, be safe, have fun, run trains, and have a nice day. This is your boy, Flash Jones, with the beautiful CSX 4839 and the beautiful UP 8784. Deuces. So real quick, guys, I'm going to shoot this real quick video, and I'm going to tack it on to the very end of the video for the overview of this these two locomotives. I just want to show you guys something. Remember when I said that I sent that locomotive back to Walthers so they could repair it instead of sending me a brand new locomotive? And I said the reason was being because two motors are never identical. Here's a good example of it. One speed step. See all that jerkiness? It's still a good locomotive, still a fantastic locomotive. But like I said, it hasn't been broken in. It's right out of the box. And it's got a lot of jerkiness to it. And this goes back saying that two motors are never identical. Now, I'll move this locomotive forward now, but at 2 speed steps. And you can probably see that all that jerkiness is gone at 2 speed steps. But it doesn't matter at the higher speeds how it reacts. It's all about the low speed operation. I'm sure at 128 speed steps, this locomotive is going to be doing perfectly fine. We're going to go back to 1 speed step. So that's 2, and here's 1. See all that jerkiness there? You can see it in the wheels. If you just watch the wheels, you can see them kind of slowing and stopping and going. And I'm not sure if the camera's picking up the noise that the locomotive is making. It's fairly quiet, but I can hear it on this locomotive compared to the BNSF locomotive that I had, where it was 100% quiet. But this just goes back just to say that two motors are not identical. I learned it the hard way, and I'm learning it again. And I just wanted to show you guys this because this should not be a deal breaker in any way, but This is something that you should know. And most high-end locomotives have a lot of jerkiness at one speed step. So for the fact that this locomotive is doing perfectly within its range in comparison at one speed step is perfectly fine when you consider Athearn Genesis locomotives, Broadway Limited locomotives, MTH locomotives, Cato locomotives, Intermountain locomotives. They all have jerkiness at one speed step. It may not be as prominent as this locomotive, but they all have some jerkiness. There are a few lucky people who get those motors in those locomotives that operate 100% smooth. That's not saying that every single locomotive is going to have its issues. Most of them will, not all of them. But I just wanted to show you guys this because I am not praising this locomotive for its, outstanding motor control. I love it. It's still good. It's got a great weight to it, and I know it's going to pull really well. But here's one of the flaws for a $150 locomotive. But like I said, even higher end locomotives are going to have the same issues. So for now, my money's going to be with Walthers. All right. I'll pause the video and I'll do a quick test on the UP one just to check, and then I'll probably just add it in on the end of this video as well. Hold on. All right, so guys, I got the UP locomotive, and I'm just gonna show you guys the motor control on this one. And one thing that I did not specify when I was doing the CSX locomotive is that it was on 128 speed steps. Okay, so we got 128 speed steps, 128 motor control at one speed step. Now reverser. That's pretty smooth actually. So like I was saying, some folks get lucky with those motors in a locomotive that don't have any issues right out of the box. Seems like this is one of them. Whereas the CSX, I mean, it had a little bit of jerkiness, but like I said, they haven't even been broken in yet. But $150 out the box, this is what you get, and it's like I said, it's pretty damn good. I'll put it back in forward, but I'll show you guys one thing and why, and I'll explain why I specified that it was in 128 speed steps. In 28 speed step mode, since there are less speed steps, there's 100 less of them, so to say, the locomotive is going to pick up speed much more rapidly compared, and when you're talking about one speed step out of 128 in comparison to one speed step out of 28. So this is one speed step out of 28, and just look how quickly the locomotive picks up. Okay, that's 2. And we're pretty much out of frame. So I'll go back down and we'll change it to 128 speed steps, reverse, and just look how slowly it moves. That's why it's more important. Like I said, I even specified again, let you see it. 128 speed steps. I'm much, much closer than I am on this locomotive than I was for the 28 speed step test, but just to show you the jerkiness and how it's absent in this locomotive. That's 2 speed steps. It's moving way slower than anybody who's ever operated in DCC will know that 128 speed steps is way different than 28 speed steps. And just thought I would add that in. The CSX locomotive had a little bit of issues. Doesn't bother me. The UP doesn't have any issues. But like I said, sometimes you get lucky and you purchase a locomotive with the perfect motor in it. So that's going to wrap up the end of this video. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Be safe. This is your boy, Flash Jones. I am out. Deuces.